How's it going, you guys? AZPlow21 back again with another episode of our UFC save here in WMMA 5. And here today we have UFC Fight Night Fiziev versus Usman. Usman Nurmagomedov taking on Rafael Fiziev in our lightweight main event. The last time that I saw you guys was for Fight Night Dober versus Moicano. Moicano picking up a big win over Drew Dober in our main events there. Derek Lewis also getting a big win alongside Alexander Gustafsson. Jim Miller did retire after beating Michael Johnson on that card. The next time I see you guys will be for UFC Fight Night Gaethje versus Burns. That one is live from Kansas. That is looking like a pretty good card, if I don't say so myself. It is all leading up to UFC 308 Chimaev versus Vettori. 3 title fights on that pay-per-view card, including the welterweight, light heavyweight, and flyweight titles, all being on the line. Appreciate you guys. Whether you watch me on YouTube or Twitch, as always, leave a like on the video. Subscribe, please, if you have not already done so. Be on the lookout for all the extra stuff that we've got coming up. And also, Merry Christmas. If you do celebrate, as I'm recording this is going to be scheduled to drop on Christmas Day. So if you're in the United States or wherever you may be, if you do celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. Hope you guys are all enjoying yourselves with your family. I'm recording this way out in advance, so I can tell you right now I am probably hanging out with my family. So much appreciated to you guys. Wishing you guys all a good holiday season. Wishing you guys all health, and hoping you guys have a kick-ass 2025. Let's go and take a look at our rankings here before the fight card gets underway. Derek Lewis into the top 15 after his big win in the co-main event. Simeon Powell into the number 11 spot after just his second win in the UFC. Alexander Gustafsson back in the rankings. Love to see it. At middleweight, we did have Robert Whittaker come out of hiatus, and with the middleweight division kind of in flux, it's going to be Whittaker versus Muniz for the title. That is what we're going to do, because Whittaker had earned it before he went on hiatus, so he's back. He's just going to get the title shot. The rest of the division can just figure itself out. Welterweight, nothing going on. Super lightweight, Jalen Turner did get a big win. At lightweight, we had Moicano all the way up to number 2 after his big win, so congrats to him after beating Fiziev. At featherweight, we had Swanepoel enter the rankings after his debut win. Nothing at bantamweight. At flyweight, Kai Kara France in at number 3 after his big win. We also had Karafov up to number 5. Felipe Bunes, who's going to be debuting soon. He debuts at number 4. Iago Ribeiro in at number 8. The flyweight division is slowly starting to come along. Very sad that Mighty Mouse has lost his 2 fights that he's had already back in the UFC. Lost to Moreno for the title. Lost to Muhammad Makayev. Those are 2 very tough fights, though. He has another one scheduled against Janada Silva, which I hope he can win. That is my GOAT, so I am hoping he can pick up a win there. So we were on flyweight. Let's take a look at women's featherweight. Talita Nogueira, who we just signed out of Bellator, in at number 8. Amanda Nunes, still the champion at bantamweight. Caitlin Vieira up to number 12. In bantamweight, flyweight, no movement. And strawweight, we had Karate Hottie up to number 20 after her big win. Who did she beat? I forget. But Zhao Nanyan picked up a win. She moves up to number 11. So let's go and get it going. UFC Fight Night Fiziev versus Usman. Let's get it. Show is taking place in Idaho, Boise State. As I'm recording this, just got announced they're going to be in the Fiesta Bowl, which is in my neck of the woods. Not sure if I'm going to go yet, but let's get this started. The Korean Zombie on the prelims. That seems rather disrespectful, but this fight was listed as only prelim worthy, and the Korean Zombie gets knocked out in round number 3. Fantastic fight, but Tegabov comes out on top. Carol Rosa taking on Leah McCourt, looking rather marketable at 145, and it is Carol Rosa knocking out Leah McCourt in round number 3. Stefan Vocek taking on Chris Daukaus in the heavyweight division. Couple of big boys going at it. Of course, Chris Daukaus, former police officer, I believe, and he gets knocked out by Stefan Vocek, still undefeated at 9-0. Caio Borralho taking on Dominic Humberger. Still think that's a hilarious name. The guy out of the Czech Republic stays undefeated at 10-0 after his big win over Borralho here today. Humberger is here, and he is hungry. No, not a great joke. All right. Damir Tolanov taking on Askar Askarov in the flyweight division. Undefeated is Tolanov at 11-0, and he stays undefeated after the unanimous decision victory over Askarov here today. The Kazakh fighter, 2-0 now in his UFC career, went over Jeff Molina, and now over Askar Askarov. Jacqueline Cavalcanti taking on Haley Cowan in the bantamweight division. A couple of very big fighters in the bantamweight division, and it is Jacqueline Cavalcanti getting a submission in round number 1 over Haley Cowan here today. The Waco, Texas fighter losing to the Portuguese here today. She lost to Irene Aldana, but now gets a big-time win over Cowan to get back into the win column. Tom Breeze taking on Brian Battle. As I'm recording this, Brian Battle just won his fight yesterday, and he takes on England's own Tom Breeze, and it's Brian Battle with the knockout punch in round number 1. Danny Sabatello taking on Cody Stamen in the bantamweight division, and it's Sabatello getting it done. Unanimous decision here today from the Italian gangster, and that was his UFC debut. Pedro Munoz taking on Adriano Moraes. Now keep in mind, this is the guy that beat Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson in the bantamweight division. Not very popular here in the States. He takes on a veteran in Pedro Munoz, and Pedro Munoz knocks out Adriano Moraes here today. A big time win for the veteran. Needed that win. He was on a little losing streak before this. Ian Gary takes on Muslim Salikov here, and what I assume is, our final prelim. So Ian Gary 13-1. He literally just lost his first loss, recorded his first loss yesterday against Rachmanov as I am recording this. Muslim Salikov, 40 years old. Ian Gary is the underdog, but Ian Gary gets the TKO win over King of Kung Fu, Muslim Salikov here today. Ian Gary still looking like the future. Ali Isaev taking on Hassan Bounty Hunter Graham in the heavyweight division. Now keep in mind, Hassan Graham is the guy that shocked the world when he beat Cyril Gane in his UFC debut fights. Split decision victory, a big time win over Cyril Gane, gets him into the number 12 spot in the division. He takes on a veteran in Ali Isaev, who is also undefeated, coming off wins over Alexander Volkov and Hugo Cunha. Graham is a huge underdog, and with good reason. Round number 2, Ali Isaev gets the submission victory in what was a great fight, but the 40-year-old too much for the young man out of Boston. Carlos Leal taking on Magomed Umulatov in the 175 division, and we have Carlos Leal getting the knockout win here today. He is now 4-0 in the UFC. Morales, Soldich, Christian Lee, and now Magomed Umulatov. Jacob Nadeau taking on Impa Kasanganay. Kasanganay just got knocked out trying to win the $1 million for PFL. That sucks for him. But on the other side, you have Jacob Nadeau, 2-0 in the UFC. Dominic Reyes and Maxim Grisham. And Kasanganay, since he came back, is on a nice little 3-fight winning streak. So good for him. Could get a title shot in the near future if he comes up with a couple extra wins. And it is Impa Kasanganay with a split decision over Jacob Nadeau here today. That brings us to our not our co-main event, but a big time fight for the women, mainly because of this woman, Paige Van Zant. Mid-level national popularity, won against Jennifer Maia in her return fight to the octagon. Good for her. She takes on Meatball Molly McCann, who's on a 3-fight losing streak, the last one being over Jamie Lynn Worth Hessels. It is a big time fight in the flyweight division, and Molly McCann gets the decision victory over Paige Van Zant here today. Now we have the co-main event of the evening. Yair Biggie Boy Rosenstrike takes on Tom Aspinall in the heavyweight division. We all know what Tom Aspinall is like in real life. Here in game, win over Stipe Miocic and Tai Tuivasa has him ready to make a run towards the title. Before this, he lost to Biggie Boy. And Biggie Boy, ever since he did beat Tom Aspinall, he beat Derek Lewis and then lost to John Jones for the title. So this is the first fight that Biggie Boy's having since that title defeat. And so this is a big time fight in our co-main event. Tom Aspinall is the favorite, but Biggie Boy does it again. A TKO over Tom Aspinall, ruining his chances at a title shot, essentially. A TKO in round number 1 is devastating for the, what's it called? Liverpudlian, I guess you can say. And that brings us to our main event of the evening. In the lightweight division, Usman Nurmagomedov, undefeated at 18-0. He takes on Rafael Fiziev, number 5 in the division currently, coming off a win over Guram Kutateladze. On the other side, you have Usman Nurmagomedov making his UFC debut. Making his UFC debut after being the Bellator champion and defending it a handful of times. A big time fight here, and Usman is the odds-on favorite. It's our main event. Let's get it going. Keith Peterson, our referee, as the fight is underway. Right head kick glancing. Usman nailing a right cross. Fiziev lands a nice little kick. Left roundhouse to the body. Usman with a left kick to the body. Usman missing with a right hand. Fiziev backed up against the cage now. Fiziev hitting him with a quick elbow. Might be looking for a bit of a grappling, maybe a takedown before the end of the round. Round 1 comes to a close. They think it went to Fiziev. Spin kick lands for Usman. Head kick lands. Again with the spin kick to the body. Missing a right hook. Usman equal to the 1-2. Fiziev backed up against the cage. Usman just kind of smothering him here. A little dirty boxing going on as round 2 comes to a close. They think Fiziev has won both rounds. Both fighters stepping in here. Leg kick lands for Fiziev. This would be huge for him, actually, to beat Usman Nurmagomedov. That would probably, result in a title shot, I'd imagine. Beating the Bellator champ. Huge time win here for Fiziev if he's able to get it done. Usman scores with the right hook. Fiziev with the right cross. Right cross lands for Usman. Usman with the head kick. Uh-oh. He is out. Well, Usman nails him with a head kick and then finishes him off with a punch. And Usman Nurmagomedov stays undefeated at 19-0 now, and absolutely states his claim with his UFC debut victory. Celebrates his UFC debut victory, that he's looking forward to the next fight. Well, congratulations to him. 2,000 in attendance in Idaho. Commercial rating of 63 is rather rough. We're really going to need to, we put this show on ABC. Everyone's going to be pissed. But nonetheless, we still made a little bit of money, I would imagine. I know we had a fantastic fight on the prelims. The very first fight of the night, Korean Zombie gets 50K. We are also going to get 50K to Biggie Boy. And Brian back. Congrats to all of them. They get 50K. Let's go ahead and see. We made a nice little profit. Biggie Boy, the highest paid fighter on the night. Congrats to him. The next time I see you guys, it will be for UFC Fight Night Gaethje versus Burns. I'm AZPlow21, and I will see you guys at the fights, and have a Merry Christmas.